Hello. Took me a little while to start this time. Oops, that's fine though. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. It's me, Robin, the ghost in the machine, or whatever I said I would say is my catchphrase. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. I don't know. But anyway. Welcome. It's Final Fantasy XIV. Last time, we escaped Ivalice. And this time...
Wesker!
Wesker? I didn't think Wesker was gonna be in this game. Wow. Weird crossover. Surprising. This time, it's time for the, cheese Wesker. Wesker, I crave cheese. I guess I should show that on screen, maybe. I made a little funny doodle before the stream happened today. Because I was thinking about the Mouse Ashley meme. So we have Mouse Sucro now. I think they should add the rat folk from Final Fantasy IX as a playable race. Because they're really cool, actually. But what if Sucro became Mouse? She probably wouldn't. Sucro is too important. Oh, there's a weasel on my shoulder. I didn't know the weasel could do that, actually. Hello, White Witchret. Anyways. We escaped Ivalice. Today, it's time for 4.2 main story quest. Rise of a New Sun. I'm gonna stare at this weasel for a second, because there's something I forgot to do again. Okay, task complete. Wow, the captioning reads "cuz" as C-U-Z. I didn't expect that. Anyway. Oh, I also have a funny button that I don't know when I will press. But I can smirk now. Because why not? Shin Megami Tensei 4 is a video game. And on that note, let's actually continue. So, 4.2 is a weird kind of patch, from what I understand. I was looking at what was in there earlier, and I think this is a patch without a dungeon in the main story, because I think the only dungeons added in this patch were an optional side quest one, and the one that starts a side quest chain, which we will be doing after the MSQ. So I don't think there's an MSQ dungeon in this. Maybe there's like solo duties or something. I actually don't know. I think this is also the one where Alphino does something silly. The only one in the game where Alphino does anything silly at any point. Not true. Someone has left their evil... Well, not necessarily evil. Someone has left their, Dog of Darkness on the table over here. Tidings from the east, though. Sucro, great timing. I was just about to send word to the Scions. I've got lots to tell you. The Council has officially recognized the Resistance as our standing army, and I expect you can guess who's been appointed commander. Suffice it to say, we're in good hand. Is Raoban okay with making fun of how he only has one hand like that? Having the Bull of Alamigo at the helm's done wonders for morale. People were dancing in the streets when the announcement was made, and we have you and the Sultana to thank for it. If you two hadn't worked your magic, he'd never have contemplated following his heart. The council has also decreed that we're to maintain a presence at Ralger's Reach. Lise will continue to lead our forces in the fringes, a job she's been doing tirelessly. A bit too tirelessly, some might say. We're constantly having to remind her to rest before she falls over. That's an exaggeration, and I always get up again. Anyway, we can hardly afford to lower our guard now, not after our latest brush with Lakshmi. Speaking of which, we've been keeping a close eye on the Kalyana, and it looks like they've chosen a new leader. It's, Shanti's daughter. You know, the half-dead one. For whatever reason, the Kalyana thought she was the best candidate, which makes them leaderless, basically. As things stand, there's no prospect of engaging in talks, let alone coming to an understanding. But I won't let that stop me. I'll keep on reaching out to them until they finally see sense. Just like I've been reaching out to Fordola. She still won't meet my gaze, but she's given up trying to ignore me. It may only be the odd grunt, but at least she's responding. I'll get through to her yet. Nod. Sucro, there you are! It's time for me to make irresponsible decisions with our money. What? Alphino, Alize, is everything alright? Okay, not quite yet. We've received word from Tataru. Hancock has apparently acquired information of great interest and urgency. More than that she didn't say, only that we should come to Kugane right away. I had a mind for the two of us to set forth together, but Alize is determined to make it a party of 3. As I've told you more than a dozen times, brother, my wounds are quite healed and I would benefit from some fresh air. Besides, you may well need an extra pair of hands. As I've told you more than a dozen times, red mages have Vercure at this level. You don't need to worry about my HP, Alphino. Not that you're a good healer anyway. Worry not, sister. I've quite given up trying to convince you. Whether we be 2 or 3, we should depart as soon as possible. Raise the roof. Alize would say that. Alize would do the raise the roof gesture. I think. I can imagine it. We should depart it. I don't think what level is Verez at? Actually, what level is Vercure at? I think Vercure should be available at this point. You'll be joining us, I trust. Nod. I could just switch to Red Mage and check. Huh, I was about to say I'd come too, but I'll just have to settle for cheering you on from afar. Good luck with whatever it turns out to be. Thank you, Lise. Rest assured, should this business prove to be of even tangential concern to Alamigo, we shall inform you without delay. Let us be off then. Hancock and Tataru await us at the Ruby Bazaar offices. I'm gonna check what levels Vercure and Verez are at. Really fast. Red Mage is in here somewhere. Oh wow, it's still in Heavensward outfit. That's fine. Just pretend that it's not. Actions. Verez is 64 and Vercure is 54. So Alize would have both of them at this point. Got it. Good job, Alize. Wait, what am I saying? Alize probably forgets that she has those. Given that she's so fast to, like, limit break 1 as soon as she has it in duty supports. I can't imagine Alize actually uses either of those spells very often. But again, as I said, Alphino is apparently not a great healer either, so who can say? I don't know exactly how that relates to whether or not Alize would use those spells, but maybe she would feel more compelled to if Alphino wasn't doing his job. Greetings, honored madam. May I show you in? Yeah. So what's the news? I think I might sort of know what it is.
Thank you for coming at such short notice.
We were told the matter was urgent. I take it Yugiri and Soroban are also involved?
My presence here is but a happy coincidence. I am come on separate business, which can wait.
It can wait until the next stream, approximately.
My apologies. Master Hancock, pray, tell our friends exactly what you told me.
Of course, of course. Some few days ago, a large detachment of soldiers was seen arriving at the Garlean embassy. This seemed to me most unusual, as no personages of note are due to visit for a matter of months. So, I made a few inquiries, whereupon I learned of a most curious rumor.
Yeah, I think I know where this is going, actually. I think
Apparently,
I remember.
the soldiers were dispatched to Kugane to investigate recent sightings of a certain individual. The late acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma, Yotsuyu.
Gasp. Gasp.
I beg your pardon?
I too am loath to believe it. I saw the keep come down on top of her. We all did.
Nod.
I would not presume to question your eyewitness accounts, nor am I one to take rumors at face value. The fact is, the Garleans have no knowledge of what took place at Doma Castle. They may well be chasing after a woman who merely resembles Yotsuyu. But a woman who resembles Yotsuyu in the company of a grizzled Rogadan samurai? I dare say that thickens the plot.
Gosetsu! He's alive!
While I've no conclusive proof, I thought that such a possibility warranted your attention.
Have you informed Lord Hien?
Nod.
Well, I think we'd all like to believe the old bear survived.
Indeed. While I dare not give myself wholly to hope, I will not deny that I have prayed for such a miracle ever since that fateful day.
There's something funny about how this castle collapsing killed neither of the people who were presumably killed in the dramatic cutscene.
But
I mean, we've
regardless
known
of my
this for a
personal
while,
feelings,
but still.
if the Empire has seen fit to pursue these rumors so vigorously, we can scarce afford to ignore them. I am bound by duty to ascertain the truth of the matter. Will you join me in this quest?
I will. I'm not sure what I'd do if I saw Yotsuyu again. Or I will find Gosetsu together. Sukro saying I is kind of odd, actually. But I'll go with this one. We'll find Gosetsu together.
Thank you. If Gosetsu yet lives, he will need our help if he is to avoid capture.
Gosetsu is a dear friend, and we cannot abandon him to the mercy of the Empire. Our course is clear.
I think Sukro's probably smart enough to piece together that if Gosetsu and Yotsuyu are like running around as a group, something weird is happening, right? Because that doesn't seem likely otherwise.
Hancock, is there aught else you can tell us?
Alas not, but I have taken the liberty of employing one of the finest informants money can buy. You shall have the latest intelligence on the Garleans' movements, and more besides.
Remember how in the Evilise questline, this guy was saying that he didn't take sides? And it was important for them to remain neutral? The informant awaits your pleasure in the back streets of Sanyo Hanamaki. From its shining facade to its dark underbelly, few know Kugane as intimately as he. One of the finest informants money can buy. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? Permit me to assist you in your quest, friends. The sooner your business is concluded, the sooner we may speak of mine. Should your search take you away from Kugane, my boat is at your disposal. I shall see that she's ready to sail. I'll give Soroban a hand. If he's providing us a ship, the least we can do is supply the provisions. We'll be at the pier if you need us. A welcome offer and an excellent plan. Without further ado, then, let us seek out this informant in Sanyo Hanamaki. Nod. But yeah, like, remember when Hancock was making a big deal of remaining neutral and not picking sides, and now he's like, we hired a very expensive informant, so you know everything the Empire is doing. That doesn't seem particularly neutral to me. But, you know, whatever. We already know that the Tactics questline was written by someone else, so inconsistencies might be attributed to that. Or maybe that is more neutral than... That's also true. They probably are just spying on everybody. But still... That's also true. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I just wanted to, like... I don't know, dunk on Hancock a little bit, maybe? Seems like that guy's pretty dunkable. I don't know. Given the Empire's movements, it seems highly probable that Gosetsu and Yatsuyu were indeed in Kugane. Yet I could offer no explanation as to why they should be together. You've had dealings with informants in this city, have you not? Perchance you're already acquainted with this one. This should be the place. Now we wait and see who comes. I hope it's not who I think it is. It is. It has been a while, my friends. Yes, yes, a long while indeed. Yup. Of course. Ah, I knew it. Kyoto, any funny business and you know it will happen, I trust. No funny business. Only loyal service and the finest quality information. Of course, such quality does not come cheap. No, but then Hancock already paid you. Honestly, you must think we were born yesterday. Have half a mind to call lease. No lease, I beg you. No boots. I will tell you everything I know, free of charge. The Empire searches for Yatsuyu, high and low, far and wide. Come to enlist my help, they did, promising rich rewards for decisive information. Oh no is correct. And have you decisive information? Were the two individuals cited here indeed Gosetsu and Yatsuyu? Alas, see them with my own eyes I did not, but the Imperials are confident, yes, very confident indeed. Look at the size of their contingent. But here is something they do not know, a rumor which you will find most interesting, I think. They say an elderly Rugadan samurai appeared on Kugane Dore with a beauteous maiden, and sold his katana to a pawnbroker. It was no common katana either, but one of surpassing craftsmanship. Reminder that it is pronounced Rugadan according to the game itself, which is still surprising to me. I mean, I don't know. Not what I thought it was for a very, very long amount of time, so of course it's surprising. Gasp. Well, that is interesting, assuming it's true. Did you corroborate the rumor with the pawnbroker in question? No. Regrettably, I do not have a working relationship with the master of Shofuku... Shikaitan? No, why would that be, I wonder? If I didn't know better, I'd think he'd lent you money. He will help you, I'm certain. While you speak with him, I will make contact with my Garlean connections and learn what I can of their progress. A glimpse of the blade is all I need to be sure, but is it wise to let the Namazu out of our sight? What choice do we have? No, he'll betray us, or ... No, he'll betray us because it's the funnier option, and it's happened before. No, no more betrayal. No more betrayals, no more boots. To divide our forces is simply more efficient. He's right. Given the urgency, we would do well to split up, and so I will go with our friend here. Nothing improves efficiency like a little supervision. Yes, we will go together and there will be no boots. Let's be about it then. Good luck with the katana. Shall we reconvene at the pier later on? Fragrant as the Ruby Bazaar offices are, I prefer the fresh air. I believe Alizé has her task well in hand. Shall we seek out the pawnbroker? Nod. Also, we learned how to greet people. It's odd that we just get the greeting emote suddenly now. And we didn't have it before. What does that look like? Hello. It's similar to the goodbye one, but not. I prefer that a lot to the wave because this is a very like enthusiastic or distant greeting. Distant in the sense that you would wave like that at someone who is far away from you in physical space. Now we finally can say hello to people in a more, like, relaxed way without pretending that the goodbye emote is what I was looking for. Is it not strange that we should be compelled to turn to one who betrayed both you and Gosetsu to the Empire? I would say the fates made mock of us had I not met Hancock. The sword and the stone. Everything in order? Then let us proceed to Kuganai Dore and find the master of Shofuku Shikaitan. I don't know how to say Japanese words, sorry. Japanese, like, syllables. Some of them I understand, some of them I do not know. I can feel the Duolingo owl's gaze upon my back, even though I've never touched the app, due to my inability to speak in the languages that I'm being presented with. Anyway. A Ruganan samurai and a maiden? Never seen him. Now, if you don't have any business with me, make way for someone who does. Doesn't seem like anyone has business with you, but, you know, whatever. I've yet to identify the pawnbroker in question. Have your inquiries proven any more fruitful? Not yet. Who are you? Welcome, good madam. Welcome. Will you be buying or... Actually, we're looking for people. Ah, so you've heard tell of the Rugadan Samurai's katana. Small wonder. It's a fine example of its kind. One moment. Dare I hope you found our pawnbroker? Nod. Excellent work, Sukro. And that is the katana? There can be no doubt. It is Gosetsu's blade. The craftsmanship is exquisite, is it not? And you will be pleased to know that the pledge has just expired. I think we're about to see Alphino fumble the finances. Like, exactly right now, or very soon. I should be glad to sell it to you, assuming you have the coin. This is no ordinary weapon, you understand, and it's priced accordingly. But if you are serious, I suggest you act quickly, as several noted collectors have already expressed an interest. The blade represents conclusive proof of Gosetsu's survival. I suppose this could be considered a necessary cost in securing his safe return. Yet it's not a decision I can make alone, least of all when our nation has scarce begun to rebuild. I'll pay, or I could lend you the coin. I do have, like, a fair amount of gil. Not too much because I bought emotes. I'll pay. Nay, my friend, grateful though I am for the offer, I cannot ask this of you. It's enough to know that Gosetsu is alive and well. Yugiri, wait, the scions will buy the katana. Pray consider it a gift. Master Alphino, your kindness is touching, truly, yet in matters of coin, would Mistress Tataru not expect to be consulted? Come now, our friend would never have relinquished his blade were the need not great, and are we not bound by honor to help a friend in need? I say we are, and I'm sure Tataru will wholeheartedly agree. It's settled then. You've made a wise choice, my friend. Such pieces are few and far between. Now, if you be so good as to come this way, I shall prepare the necessary papers. Please do not send me gil. I do not need the gil for anything. At the moment. The only time I would ever need a substantial amount of gil is whenever the housing market opens again. Hello. Welcome. If I may ask, sir, after he visited your establishment, do you perchance know where the old samurai went? Alphino just had the scions pay for Gosetsu's katana. Tataru is going to be sad. Probably. He is our friend, and we would return his weapon to him. A friend of yours, you say? You say, I see. Well then, I suppose there can be no harm in telling you. No sooner had I provided him with the requested sum than his pretty young companion began clamoring for dango. I duly recommended those served at the Umineko tea house, and thither did they set off. Clamoring for dango? Can these truly be the same people? It makes no sense. Some manner of code, perhaps, but it avails us not to speculate. Let us go to this tea house and see if we can pick up their trail. Nod. Love the idea of clamoring for dango being a coded message. What is that a coded message for? Clearly, the dango represents a coded message for a military strike that attacks on 3 fronts due to the traditional construction of a dango involving 3 different colors of dumpling? I don't think it's a dumpling. It might be a dumpling. I don't know anything about the world. I'm just funny ghost on the internet. Wait, did I just admit I was funny? Oh no. I just use funny as a catch-all adjective for a lot of things these days. Sometimes I can be kind of funny. Great jump. I actually, like, I think halfway through that jump, I was like, what if I tried the tower climb again? But then also I decided not to. And also I did that on screen already. Oh, speaking of the tower climb. First of all, there's some people setting up where the second point of interest was, and secondly, you might notice the point of interest is not there. That is because my friend Aya, who's currently on vacation, shoutouts to her, was logged out standing on top of this point of interest, so I was able to use a silly blue mage trick to just warp there. And by that I mean, if someone is standing there and you as a blue mage self-destruct, they can revive you and you will revive on the point of interest and be able to grab it. Or the Vista, not point of interest. What is this, Guild Wars 2? No, that has both of them. Anyway. So I exploded instead of climbing the tower a second time. The Gosetsu I knew had little time for tea houses, no wine. This is the proprietor of the tea house. Let us find out what she knows. Dango do look good. I like the colorful nature of the dango. Also, thank you people for saying nice things about me. I appreciate that. But of course I remember. How could I forget a pair like that? The most beautiful girl you'll ever see, scoffing down dango as if her life depended on it, while the old samurai looked on. Not quite what he expected, I'll wager. Yeah, Sukro just rocket jumped to the top of the lantern, it's fine. Just like Soldier TF2. Far be it from me to gossip about my customers, but he was planning to spirit her away across the Ruby Sea, out of the reach of her family, no doubt. When the girl had finally had her fill, they set off in the direction of the Shiokaze hostelry, presumably to find someone discreet with a boat. So Gosetsu makes for Doma. But this woman who travels with him, the more I hear about her, the more I wonder if she can truly be Yatsuyu. That's a good question. I feel like Icarus probably cannot do vertical movement. I think it would probably just get stuck on the lantern. It can only target party members, right? Because there were people standing there right now. Where... Oh, right, I have a Eureka set. Where is Sage at? I'm pretty sure Icarus can only target party members, but... yeah, it can. And I'm not gonna pester these people to, like, add me to a party to figure this out. Interesting idea, though. I have no idea if Icarus can, like... He can handle slopes, okay. Yeah, I feel like it'd probably just make me collide with the lamp rather than carrying me upwards. For all our success in tracing Gosetsu's movements, how he came to be traveling with Yatsuyu remains a mystery, to say nothing of this Dango business. While doubts remain over the identity of Gosetsu's traveling companion, for now we can but follow the trail. Come, let us away to the pier and make ready to sail. With luck, Alize will already have joined Master Soroban and Mistress Tataru there. I really didn't expect this weasel to be one of the shoulder riding pets. The weasel is relatively, like, larger than some of the other creatures that ride on your shoulder. Or at least longer, because a weasel is a long creature. So I guess I didn't expect it for that reason. Looks like Tataru is killing Alphino over here. The others all did their part. I'm truly blessed to have such dependable comrades. I watched Gyodo meet with his Imperial associate, and I have to say I'm impressed. He has sycophancy down to a fine art. Apparently, Gyodo did his duty and then promptly excused himself. Couldn't bear another moment under Alize's withering gaze, I expect. While we were arranging the provisions, Soroban told me all about his many business ventures. Honestly, his nose for profit puts mine to shame. Cat snakes. Cat snakes is correct. Oh, that's nice. I've heard many tales of strangers giving, like, new players minions and whatnot. Sukro just kind of looks so done with whatever is sitting on her shoulder a lot of the time. I don't know what it is. I feel like Sukro didn't used to look so grumpy all the time, but sometimes she kind of just does. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's the hands on hips stance that's causing this. Perhaps. Anyway. I guess Alphino is not being killed yet. Oh, that's very kind of you. Excellent timing, my friends. Mistress Alize arrived mere moments ago. All went well at my end. Gyodo met with an Imperial officer and wheedled his way to some new information. It seems the troops who recently arrived in Kugane came directly from Garlemald. The Imperials based here have been kept in the dark. And that's not all. A contingent of the aforementioned troops are preparing for deployment to the Ruby Sea. If I didn't know better, I'd say they'd picked up Gosetsu's trail. Then your information matches ours. We are quite certain that Gosetsu seeks to cross to the mainland. Alphino will probably be killed shortly. Oh, I don't think Sukro looks weird to me. I think she just looks a little bit grumpy. I'm sorry, did I hear that right? You used Scion funds to buy Gosetsu's katana at the asking price? Aye, well, we were in some haste, and it seemed a worthwhile gesture. Speaking of which, here's the contract of sale. Pray see that the man is paid. Alphino death imminent. Thal's beard. Tataru, like, withholding the classic Thal swear. You agreed to this? Give me strength. Well, it's not like the search can wait. You'd best be on your way. Okay, Alphino is not dead yet. But that face. But Alphino, we need to talk. I want you to come straight to the offices as soon as you get back. Promise me. This Tataru face is great. Yeah, I think she was just searching for some other word that started in a similar way to what people usually say for that. Oh, very well. I shall call upon you as soon as I return. Alphino has no idea how much he's going to be destroyed. First, let us go to the Ruby Price. If Gosetsu has already set sail, the sentries there are sure to have seen him. This kind of mirrors something we were doing like earlier in the campaign anyways. Oh, seems like there's a duty involved. Judging by her reaction, Mistress Tataru is none too pleased. I apologize if the katana has caused strife. Mistress Tataru seems in low spirits. Happily, my latest venture may prove just the tonic. That's the side quest we'll be doing later. Is the going rate for a priceless weapon, I wonder? Now I know who not to ask. Can I kind of want to go talk to Tataru immediately, but also we are not in Kugane, I've just realized. Ah well. I have to talk to her later anyways. Tataru seemed rather vexed, did she not? Ever the melodramatist. How do you say that? Ever the melodramatist. Melodramatic. Like you say melodrama and dramatist, so I guess it's just melodramatist. That's a weird word, Alphino. I'm sure our finances can stretch to a single sword. Spoilers, not really. Remind me to explain the value of such gestures when we next see her. Ah, but I digress. We have work to do. Hope on the waves. But yeah, as I was saying, I think that leads to, as I said at the start of the stream, I think that leads to one of the 2 dungeons that was added in 4.2, and there's no...
Right. I suggest we begin by learning what we can from the sentries.
I don't think there is a main story quest dungeon in this patch. Because I think there's only Hell's Lid, which starts the Four Lords questline, and then Fractal Continuum Hard Mode is also in this patch. Because I looked earlier. So that's interesting, but I guess there is this duty that is happening. Oh, seems like explosions are happening. That'll make it more difficult to ask questions, generally speaking. Because you can't hear over the noise. But also because there's more important things happening.
What's going on out there?
Travelers, are you? You may wish to postpone your plans. The Garleans have launched an attack on the Confederacy. We have no reason to believe they'll turn their attention here, but for your own safety, I suggest you return to Kugane.
Well, Confederacy are our friends. We gotta help them. And also, there's probably reasons for that involving Gosetsu. Yeah, I'm not gonna show most optional dungeons, like, on streams. So we probably won't see Fractal Continuum Hard Mode unless it has interesting lore to look at,
The Garleans bear no love
maybe.
for the Confederacy. But with Doma lost to them, why would they attack? Unless
Unless there were important people there.
Unless Yotsuyu is on that island.
Yeah.
Even if she isn't, our allies are under attack and they need our help.
Also true.
We will help them, while you remain with Soroban. Arguing will only delay us. Is that clear?
Fine, but you haven't heard the last of this.
Soroban, we may need to make a swift exit. See that the boat is ready to sail at a moment's notice.
It does make a lot of sense to leave someone behind to defend Soroban, but I wonder why Alizé. I feel like Alphino would want to volunteer for that, considering he doesn't like water very much. Certainly doesn't like swimming, though I guess we're expecting to take a boat.
It shall be done.
What, and you're going to swim there, are you?
'Tis the quickest way, and you may rest assured I've been practicing.
Oh. What?
Yeah!
Come.
God, that sounds really good. That's gotta be a YouTube video, right? Alphino jumping into the water in 14 languages probably exists, right? It is. I feel like, hold on. Hold on. There's no really obviously named YouTube video about this, but there are ones called things like Alphino jumps off a cliff and dies. But yeah, if you can find that, absolutely send it to me. There's a video called Alphino to the Moon where the thumbnail is Alphino's face stretched to like 1920 by 1080 resolution and it looks really funny. Anyway. If we can find that, I'll like look at it on the stream, I think. Anyway. I remembered Alizé jumping into the water, but I didn't remember Alphino jumping into the water for some reason. I must be remembering a different cutscene. Alphino's dead. Ah, I did it!
An opening. Your defense is lacking. Leave this to me.
Well, look who it is. I won't say no to the help, but I'm not best pleased that we need it. Hey, now that there's combat, we can assess once again what the volume is like. I did test the volume in advance. I think it's pretty good. I've realized recently, as far as volume settings go, that I should just be adjusting the individual program's volume instead of reducing desktop audio, because desktop audio is where a lot of the funny sound effects and things come from as well. So every time I lower desktop audio, Calico is also being lowered, for example. We can't have that. You're here for the old man, yes? He's at the top. You better hurry.
No, don't lower my volume.
Yeah, exactly. Sonic All-Stars Racing transformed announcer voice. You're going the wrong way! This is my only job! Etc.
Lady Yotsuyu, we're here to rescue you. Please, come with us.
Stay back, Tsuyu.
Oh no!
Are you all right?
Is he all right?
Okay, the Imperial soldiers are confused by Yatsuyu's behavior. Or Suyu, I guess. I was wondering if they would be.
Gosetsu!
Damn it, we took too long. Change of plan, eliminate hostiles!
Wasn't that basically your plan already?
All forces, attack!
I mean, fine, but still. Luckily, I am extremely powerful. I needed an excuse to press that button again. You ever just make a funny button and then you have to figure out, like, excuses to use it? Focus on the enemy. We'll see to Lady Yatsuyu when they're dead. Come, let us even the odds. I guess I should take out the, less HP people first. Reinforcements. I need reinforcements. They should still have Magitek armor in reserve. Steel yourselves. I think this is a model of Magitek armor that hasn't been shown yet in this game. Actually? Wait, did the caption say... Hold on, Yatsuyu. It does say Yahtzee. What? You can't do that. What does it say for Gosetsu? It gets Gosetsu correct. Yatsuyu. Well, it says, if I say it slow enough, it understands. Watch out, he means to blow it up. That's fine. I guess just saying Yatsuyu at normal speed results in... Okay, it said Got-see-you that time. I don't know. Tsuko, draw the armor this way. Okay. I assume you mean into Doton or whatever that is. To be fair, I don't think Yatsuyu deserves a lot of respect. Or at least I don't give her any respect. Tsuyu is practically a different character though. So like maybe she's fine. I don't know. Did I not draw them in the correct way as I was instructed, or did I? It's probably fine regardless. I think it's fine. I think the detonating is slower here, to make up for the fact that there's two of them. I'm not doing my rotation to the best of my abilities. Not that it's super complicated for Paladin or anything. But, you know, I was distracted. Stubborn swine, you forced my hand to deploy the Hexadrone. Oh no, it's a mini-boss enemy. Have care, we know not what we face. I've seen Hexadrones before, they're not a big deal. They only have Circle of Death. It's fine. That's true. But like if I don't get my rotation exactly right, my burst phase becomes a little bit jankier is all. Back, all of you. Oh. The way Paladin works is that, like, it's magic... I guess its magic phases... Well, no, the magic...
The art of my forebears.
Mist and Shade, take form and go forth. The magic phase is kind of like the burst phase. But mostly, like, fight or flight, the way everything lines up, you should be able to get one use of Circle of Scorn and Spirits Within into a fight or flight window, and then one use of them outside of it, and they should be ready by the time of the next one, I think. Oh, I'm supposed to move them over there. Okay. YouTube search getting worse does not surprise me at all, because Google search has also gotten worse. Brace ourselves, stars above, rain destruction upon mine enemies. I think that's the general design philosophy of Final Fantasy XIV in its current state, right? Where the burst phases are very important for everybody. I think before the recent... Oh, I forgot to use busy. I probably just got a... I forgot to use the busy mode. I probably just got another free company invite.
Gosetsu, thank the heavens.
Other search engines, those don't exist. Okay. So we have a Twitter post of it in 4 languages, at least. We can take a listen. That was probably... let me increase the volume here.
Yeah! Yeah!
Thank you, various Alphanos. Oh man, I should have closed it right as the splash hit instead of earlier. Yeah, those were some pretty good ones. Thank you. Thank you for finding that, Karma.
Yugiri, my friends, the Kami were kind to guide your steps this way.
Smile.
It's over. The Imperials are retreating. I suppose we have you to thank for that.
I helped.
But they would never have come here were it not for her. I had a bad feeling the moment your samurai friend arrived with that woman in tow.
Everyone glares.
Do not be afraid, Suyu. These people are my friends.
Friends.
They all look pretty unhappy. Sukro glaring.
Forgive me, but at the risk of souring the mood, I believe you owe us an explanation. You may start by telling us what happened at Doma Castle.
Of course. I'll not begrudge you that. As you know, we were trapped inside the keep when it collapsed. But even as the roof crumbled above us, so too did the floor below. We were swept out into the One River, where we would surely have drowned had a stout wooden door not chanced to float by, offering us a raft of sorts. Exhausted, we drifted out to sea, at the mercy of the tides, which saw fit to dispense us on a desert island.
She was with you the entire time?
Aye. 'Twas her kimono which saved her from Hien's blade, believe it or not. Some Garlean witchcraft in the weave.
Huh. Magitech kimonos. Magitech armored kimonos exist.
But it offered precious little protection against the fall. Though she survived, she awoke bereft of all her memories, and speaking like a child.
A trick, surely.
That was my first thought, aye. And I contemplated cutting her down and being done with it. Contemplated it long and hard. Yet the Kami saw fit to deliver us from certain death. 'Twas their will that we survive, both of us, together. And together we shall go before our master. He shall be the one to judge.
A lot of the characters in this game are pretty great.
What?
She's your prisoner, old man. Do with her as you will. Call her Tsuyu, or whatever else tickles your fancy.
'Twas a name given out of necessity whilst on the road. Nothing more.
As you say. But remember this. Our people suffered much at that woman's hands. When the time comes, I trust you won't let emotion blind you to what needs to be done.
The main question here is she still the same person? Effectively not
You
at the
have my
moment.
word.
Well, I must be going. I have an unholy mess to clean up. You should be on your way too, before the Imperials decide to take another tilt. Oh, and we'll overlook the tithe this once. You're welcome.
I didn't know the tithe was a repeated payment sort of thing. I guess that makes sense though. Well, the game still says she's Yatsuyu. But still. Are you coming with us? With you and yours at our side, we have naught to fear. Thank you, my friend. You suffered more at Yatsuyu's hands than Gosetsu. If this is his wish, then so be it. As Tansui says, we should move on. It would not do for Yatsuyu to be seen here. Now, if I know my sister, she will already be waiting with a boat at the nearby pier. Let's go and see if I'm right. I wonder what that free company invite that I probably got was. But I should go here and right, it's just the search info. Busy. Okay. It's a conundrum that I'm sure the game is going to address in some fashion. Though I don't remember exactly how. At least not yet. I remember some future stuff.
Yeah.
Callie is not very good at screaming, unfortunately, question mark. Is that unfortunate? I guess screaming is a helpful skill for when you're in distress. So it could be unfortunate in that sense.
Our matey.
Our matey. Everyone's staring at me. Maybe we should get Yatsuyu like a mask of some kind? Here she is, just as I anticipated. I'm only surprised she agreed to hold off until the Empire withdrew. I understand I have the Scions to thank for my katana's safe return.
Yatsuyu.
Well, I can understand why it reads that as... I can understand why it reads Suyu, or Yatsuyu as Yatsuyu, when it sounds exactly correct when Callie says it. A samurai's blade is his soul, and no words will suffice to express my gratitude for reuniting me with mine. Bow. Gosetsu lives, so all other considerations should pale next to that, and yet... Are we certain she's the real Yatsuyu? Gosetsu, thank the gods you're safe. It was all I could do to watch the battle from afar. And it was all I could do to restrain her. Can you blame me for worrying? Strong as Sucro is, anything could happen in the chaos. But enough about me. We need to talk about her. Greetings? They tell me you've lost your memory, and that's fine, but I want you to know something. I won't be taking my eyes off you, not for a moment. Yugiri nods. These people are strange. Are you sure they're your friends? I am. They may behave strangely, but I trust them with my life. You have naught to fear. All right, if you say so. ... Right, 'tis past time we set sail. I, for one, would not keep Lord Hien waiting without due cause. Aye, and the longer we tarry, the more we risk inviting trouble, lest you forget the Red Kojin bear no love for Yatsuyu either. I shall deliver you to familiar shores, near Isari, but out of the villager's sight. Group nod. Back when I was, like, destroying my voice by doing more specific voice acting for people, and I was talking about— whoa! Oh, that's like a wind-up Estinian that just did that. Okay, that explains it. I was very confused for a second why a small humanoid figure just, like, spiraled into the air, but it's Estinian, so that makes sense. For a second, I thought I had the Mammoth deployed, and the Mammoth did that inexplicably, and I was very confused, but then I also remembered that I have a weasel. Anyway, when I was doing more specific voice acting for characters, I had said stuff about, like, disrespecting Yatsuyu by doing the Hotel Mario voice that I can do sometimes. Or the Hotel Mario-esque voice. I don't know if I'd say it's exact anymore. But it turns out that, like, almost all of her dialogue is spoken until this point. And, she's not Yatsuyu now, she's Tsuyu, that's different. But also, I've decided I don't need to do the voice acting as much, so there's also that. I'm voice acting a little bit to the extent where I'm attempting to, like, not just do a flat read of all of the lines and, like, putting emotion into stuff and all that, but you know what I mean. Are we going to go to that village? They might have Dango. I used to have a redeem to make me read the next text box in the Hotel Mario voice. But I removed that redeem because I grew less confident in that voice being accurate. So now it's just something I can do occasionally. And it's kind of correct, but not really. It could be a good first impression, depending on who you ask. Another time, Tsuyu, our path takes us in a different direction.
If you need instructions,
check out the enclosed instruction book. See, it's not exactly the voice anymore. My voice has changed too much for that, I think. Well, I don't know if I could attribute it to my voice changing, but it's still a funny voice to do. Oh, I forgot to talk to everybody. Here's where we part ways, my friends. I pray the remainder of your journey passes uneventfully. Sucro, when you're not otherwise occupied, I would speak with you about my next business venture. That's next after this. It promises to be extremely lucrative, and I do not say so lightly. After the prodigious sum spent acquiring a certain sword, it would present a fine opportunity to refill the Scion's coffers and restore the smile to Mistress Tataru's face. Everyone looks at Alphino. Oh, come along. Tataru was overreacting. How much could a single katana possibly cost? Far more than you think, plainly. A blade like Gosetsu's is worth a fortune. Enough to buy a house and furnish it. Which you would know had you bothered to check the price. What? I had no idea. This business venture of Soroban's, you will give it a fair hearing, I trust. He's been good to us, after all. As for me, I think I shall look into drawing upon my personal funds. There should be a side quest where Alphino starts taking art commissions. Because of this. Oh, this is where we get the quests. So I have to remember to go here in the future? Maybe I'll just take this now. Sorbonne is about to present you with a proposition you'd be a fool to refuse. See you later, thanks for stopping by. You take care too. I'll go ahead and grab this quest now so that I don't have to remember where Sorbonne is. You would know more of my venture? Excellent. I should be glad to tell you all I know. Though perhaps it would be easier to let our anonymous client speak for his or herself. Here, their missive. For the Ruby Sea and all who call her home. This Estinian is really distracting. We seek the aid of the warrior who laid low the lord of the revel. But first we bid her make haste to Hell's Lid and quell the Oni that dwell in its deepest depths. Should she succeed in this test, we shall speak of the true endeavor and consummate reward. A strange proposal, aye, though it must be noted they knew both of your deeds and our part in them. They knew both of your deeds and of our part in them. The Red have no love of trickery, so I doubted a trap of theirs. And should this client have honest intentions, then for the sake of these waters, it may behoove us to engage them further. As for their test, enclosed within the missive was a magic dagger, along with instructions as to how it may be used to open a hidden passage into the depths of Hell's Lid. I should mention that this dagger is old and exceedingly valuable, yet our client was willing to entrust it to us without a guarantee of our cooperation bespeaks considerable wealth, and more importantly, considerable reward. If you are willing to undertake their trial, I shall journey to Hell's Lid and prepare to open the path. But given the financial incentive, I think it for the best if I went and fetched Mistress Tataru. Wait for us there, then. Nod. That'll be next Wednesday, unless 4.2 is very short and I can start that today. But yeah. Hell's Lid and the Four Lords, I think is the official name of that quest line, is the next thing in line after 4.2 in my list of objectives. Monday, though, will be more of the Pokemon Green bootleg revisit, plus randomizing. I confess, I never had much cause to consider the state of my personal finances until now. Confound it. Yeah, I've mentioned some things about the schedule before. Typically, like, the overall schedule, I think it's well known. It's probably known at this point. Monday is not Final Fantasy XIV, and Wednesday, Friday are often Final Fantasy XIV. These are all subject to change based on, like, how I'm feeling at any given point. But also, like, the Sucro plans specifically, 4.2, then the Four Lords Trials, then 4.3, Heaven on High, 4.4, Omega, 4.5, and then miscellaneous stuff from Stormblood, and then Shadowbringers. Starting at Shadowbringers, the order of events gets a little more complicated. But that's a little ways into the future, and I don't know if I need to get into that right now. Maybe I will. Because it's just like Shadowbringers and role quests. The first set of role quests, then part of the Eden raids, then 5.1, then another set of role quests, then the Alliance raids, then 5.2 and another set of role quests, etc. The role quests, staggering them out makes things a little more complicated, but yeah, I also can't wait to do Shadowbringers again. And especially I can't wait to get to the parts of the game that I haven't seen yet, which is 5.2 and onward, mostly. Though I have seen bits and pieces from after 5.1. I don't know a lot, and I don't know, like, the context of things, so it'll be really interesting once I get there. He's absolutely mortified, isn't he? Well, maybe he'll think twice before making his next grand gesture. If he ever missed an opportunity to show me how much more mature and responsible it is, I'd sympathize. I mean, I do to a point, but that doesn't mean I'm about to let him forget this. We must meet with Lord Hien as soon as possible, though mayhap not at the Enclave. I will send word requesting that he receive us at the House of the Fierce, where there are fewer prying eyes. If all are in agreement, I shall scout ahead and see that the way is clear. Pray follow as swiftly as you are able and join me on the outskirts of Namai. I primarily associate the phrase buckle up with being one of the options for when you send someone a gift on Steam and you have to select one of the pre-existing signatures. And I rarely see it in any other context. But I will be sure to buckle up for the parts of the game I haven't seen yet. So I'm pretty sure they're gonna be something. Something else, as you say. I've heard, I think many people have the opinions that Endwalker is like even better than Shadowbringers. And like, to be clear, I know a little bit of stuff from like 5.x generally, but I know almost nothing from 6.0. I know bits and pieces of 6.x as well at this point, but I know basically nothing at all other than like, I know the name and the appearance of certain boss fights, but not what that means. But I would say like 90% of the 0.0 patch of Endwalker is completely like stuff I have no idea about. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But also like the 5.x stuff I don't know and the 6.x stuff and everything. I'm looking forward to more of this game because this game's good. Sucro's great. The more into the lore you are, the more you like Endwalker. Interesting. I will probably have, given my memory, I may have forgotten a lot of stuff by the time I get there, but we'll see. Also on all of those notes, before I continue, I'm going to be right back. I have returned. Hello. I am very much looking forward to the wild ride of 5.x and beyond. Lily says hello as well. While I'm here on this screen, I should show this again. I doodled this before the stream because I was thinking about the Resident Evil 4 remake Ashley as a mouse thing that's become popular recently. And also, I was thinking about how if they ever added another playable set of characters to this game, it'd be really cool if it was like the rat people from Final Fantasy IX. You can even have like the two types of them that that everyone has be like Burmesian and Claren or something. That'd be cool. Because I think they've said they're going to reference 9 more in the future. Also, actually, while I'm here, I do have a question. Well, I'm thinking about Endwalker as well. Let me see if I can find the relevant pictures. Like, here's one fashion idea that I have. Because I haven't decided on an outfit for Endwalker yet, though that is rather far in the future at this point. And then, let me see if I can... Now that I've acquired a certain set of gloves from the Evilise raids, here's a second fashion idea that I had. It's similar, but not quite the same. Does anyone have any strong opinions about these, and which one is better? This is my question for you. They both have the pauldron. They're both good. They're both really good. The white one is a little better to you. Fair enough. I really like the Holy Knight gloves in the blue one. And the reason it's blue is because you can't dye those, so it had to match the gloves. The white and black is good. I like the little orange accents on that one. The blue one has more maritime vibes. The gloves make it look a little unbalanced. Interesting. I tried to sort of make them balance out with like the boots, at least in terms of like color. Endwalker is in space, or at least partially in space, so I don't know if maritime or seafaring adventures happen. But also I will say that the blue one on the right, even though I've never seen like any complete episode of any Gundam series, gives me Gundam character vibes, which is appropriate to space, I think. Also, it's worth noting that the left one is holding a gunblade, which will not happen, and also it's also worth noting that the haircut may differ in the final outfit, and also it's worth noting that there could be more ideas by the time I get to Endwalker, and more like dungeon or raid items that I've found that I could use in outfits. But these are just two ideas that I have right now. So thank you for your feedback. It seems to be that people are slightly favoring the one on the left, but also that people think they're both good. Hello. I was just asking people which of these two fashion options they prefer, though the use for them will be far in the future. It seems that the general consensus is that both are pretty good, but few people like the one on the left a little bit more, I think. Thank you for your feedback, everybody. If I end up with like too many ideas, I might have like some sort of elaborate feedback poll, or I might just do whatever I want. Anyways, probably both actually, because I do like making elaborate polls for no reason. Thanks for stopping by. It was good to see you. Right then. Well, there's going to be stuff in the late game gear that I won't be able to get easily. A lot of this is going to rely on, will my retainers give it to me, or like, will I get it from dungeon or raid drops? Certain stuff like Lunar Envoy gear is unlikely to be something I can easily get. There will be more crafted gear and stuff though, that is true by then. Anyway. All is well? Nod. Good. The others are hiding nearby. Let us proceed. Quietly, if you please. Probably more crafted cosmetic stuff by then as well. They usually have one of those with the major patches.
My lord here, I am returned.
Save your tears for the morrow. For we who yet walk the path should not think too much on the destination. When the hour arrives, we shall welcome what comes with open arms. And welcome it you did, even as the keep fell down around us. At that moment, in your smile, I spied a shred of hope. One which I have clung to ever since. Gosetsu, full glad am I to see you alive and well.
I was expecting Cyan's theme to suddenly start playing when he turned around, as if he projects a cone of his theme song forward. There it is. He does. He does project the cone of his theme song forward.
Have we not? Though this time our roles are reversed.
That they are. Meaning you know how I feel. Wholly at a loss for words. Welcome back, old friend. Now then, though we rejoice at your return, it seems you have brought with you certain complications. Rise, my friend. Tell me everything.
Props to Ian for keeping his composure, though he may have been told some of what's happening in advance and had time to prepare. But still impressive.
The Empire is bold indeed to send a token force to engage the Confederacy.
As acting Viceroy, Yotsuyu would have been privy to Imperial secrets. The Garleans will not soon give up the chase.
Nay, it will end with her capture, or her death.
Are you a friend, too?
She claims to have lost her memory, though I know not if she speaks true. I brought her here that you might decide her fate.
Lost her memory, you say?
Okay, maybe he wasn't told everything.
Regardless,
exactly.
The people have not forgotten. Her face yet haunts their dreams. She cannot roam free. We will hold her here for a time. Place her in Jufia's care, with the express instruction that she is not to be seen.
Yes, my lord.
Can we get like a mask or something? Like, it doesn't need to be a full elaborate mask, but if we like got some way to, I mean, maybe she wouldn't want that. But like, if she didn't mind it, we could try it out. Cover part of her face. What, Yugiri's outfit or my outfit? Or both? Now that Yugiri's kind of got some of the colors going on. Actually.
Come.
No!
I don't want to.
Fair. Yeah.
Don't let her take me away!
It's all right, Suyu. I will come with you. Be a good girl and listen to Yugiri.
Yeah, if she's in a state where she's kind of behaving like a child, she probably wouldn't want to wear a mask to like hide her face. And she wouldn't really understand why she needs to hide her face. So I suppose it wouldn't be that simple.
From a hound at his throat to a puppy at his heel.
Sucro looks
If
baffled.
This is an act. It is a remarkable performance.
I had a similar thought. Like, if this is all an elaborate trick or a scheme or a ruse or an act, then she's a very good actor. Which makes it less likely that it's fake. Thank you for delivering Gosetsu back to us in one piece. We are lucky indeed to have friends who would journey to the other side of the world to help us, and repeatedly at that. We have much and more to think upon, but as regards the Empire, we can but watch and wait. Now then, seeing as you've come all this way, you must allow me to show you around the Enclave. I would not have you thinking we've been idle in your absence. The rebuilding effort proceeds apace, I'm pleased to say, and we're now ready to welcome home our countrymen who were displaced by the war. Should they so desire it, there's a place here for those who fled to Eorzea. We should be delighted to accept your invitation, Lord Hien, and I have no doubt that your subjects at Revenant's Toll will be heartened to hear that their lord has not forgotten them. Questioning head tilt. Huh? Oh, it's nothing. I just thought that Gosetsu and Yugiri would be back by now. Well, there they are. Forgive me, my lord, but Captain Jifuya is nowhere to be found. Oh? He was here when I arrived? For now, we have taken Yatsuyu to a private chamber and assigned another to watch over him, my lord. But I find it passing strange that the captain should leave his post with nary a word. It does seem most unusual. If you mean to look for the man, we would be happy to assist you. Nod. We should be glad of the help. While I search without, mayhap you could ask our soldiers here if they know anything. I will join you. With respect, my lord, you should remain here. Should the Empire move against us, you will be better able to coordinate our response. Ah, and there I was thinking I was in charge. But you have the right of it. Go on then, I will mind the house. Group nod. The unit of Leveilleur estate flooring you put up for sale in the Uldal markets has sold for 2,356 gil after fees. Something about that happening, like, at this moment, shortly after Alphino's lamenting the state of his personal finances and also what he's done to the Scion's finances, is kind of funny. Like, well, better sell the floor of my house in order to make up for this. As you do. You seek the captain? He passed by a little while ago. I wondered if I should tell someone as it happens. He did not look well, you see. I asked if aught was the matter, and he told me the past had caught up with him. But I doubt it was that. There are older men in our ranks. Noticed Tsuyu and is plotting revenge, maybe? It should come as no surprise, but a number of the soldiers here were unsettled by Yatsuyu's arrival. Thankfully, Lord Hien was able to put their minds at ease for now. Captain Jifuya, he was headed for the northern entrance when I saw him last. I was going to invite him to train with us, but he did not hear me call out to him. If you need him, I dare say the sentry on duty will be able to tell you more. Indeed, I suggested as much to Mr. Zalize when she came asking earlier. Is something amiss? Oh, I never talked to the Falcon Porter. Actually, I don't think this Falcon Porter was here before, probably. If I had to guess. I see the trail led you here as well. This man says he saw Jifuya leave. Aye, the captain went outside some few bells ago, and looking quite unwell, I'm sorry to say. This I mentioned to Lord Gosetsu, who straight away struck out after him. I hope they'll be alright. Gosetsu too? It seems everyone is bent on joining the search. That's all well and good, but someone has to stay behind. There's no telling what the Empire is plotting. You go on, Tsuko. Alphino and I shall hold the fort. Nod. Fort held. Time for adventure. I've just remembered something. No, okay, I haven't cleared any of these. I don't have that many second chance points. I was just suddenly wondering if I'd happened to accidentally clear any of those via the Evil East raid that I did last time, because I never checked.
Ah! By the Kami! Your Lord Heian! Leave me, I beg of you. Say nothing of this. I was never here.
There you are.
Lady Yugiri, Lord Gosetsu, forgive me my abrupt disappearance.
You have your reasons, I am sure. Will you not share them?
Yeah, a lot of the Wondrous Tales stuff is stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. So technically, Chloe is giving me spoilers, but I already know the existence of most of them, so, you know, whatever. Still, though, can't actually complete a lot of the squares.
I was her master when she was yet a courtesan.
By the Kami.
She worked in my establishment.
Ah. And that did not go well for her, particularly.
Of mine. One day, quite without preamble, he offered to sell her to me. Yeah, she may be no maiden, he said, but she has some use left in her.
Jesus Christ.
He sold her short. When I first beheld her, I was struck by her beauty. And yet, behind her eyes there was an emptiness. It was as if she had given up on life. She seemed more a doll than a woman. It was no profession for her. But I knew she would be popular. And so it proved. Men flocked to drown themselves in that cold, bottomless gaze. The rest you know. She became an Imperial informant, and for her loyal service won the office of Acting Viceroy.
While you came to serve the Liberation Front.
'Tis said that the atrocities Yotsuyu committed were driven by vengeance. If so, I bear part of the blame for creating the monster she became. Joining the front was meant to be my atonement. But the truth is, I am a coward, whose only thought was to escape her wrath, then as now.
I see. Then I shall recommend that you be assigned to a new post. I trust you have no objections, Yugiri?
None. It would not do to leave Yotsuyu in his care.
I am in your debt.
Well, it's good that that was resolved.
is it that you seek to protect Gosetsu?
Questioning head tilt.
Idle musings. Pray, pay me no mind.
Alright. I won't think about what you said at all. It's good that everything was resolved perfectly. Forgive me, now is not the time for brooding. Come, let us rejoin the others. Time to teleport. Oh wait, no, it's actually not at the House of the Fierce, it's just near it. So that would actually not be a good idea. Or maybe it's in... Yeah, it's underground. Whatever, it's fine. I don't need to teleport 2 feet. Probably would have taken approximately the same amount of time. Jifuya can't be the only one here with a mortal fear of Yatsuyu. She tormented these people. That her mere presence should sow such strife. Yeah, Gosetsu, that's how trauma works. Especially... I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me, I don't know. Everyone is here, good. There have been developments that demand our immediate attention. Lord Heian and Master Alphino look troubled. Something's afoot. I thank you for your help in the search. Gosetsu has told me all that transpired. I would not presume to defend the life Jifuya led before he joined the front, nor will I condemn it. Frankly, it's not my place to judge. I will only say this, the Jifuya I know has ever been a man of courage. That he should feel driven to flee bespeaks the depth of his terror. Even now, Yatsuyu casts a shadow over the realm. But the question of what is to be done with her must wait. The Empire is on the move once more. Empire's doing some shenanigans. While you were out searching for Jifuya, we received word from our shinobi allies. An Imperial airship has been sighted over Doman soil. Gasp. Our visitor's objective remains unclear and may be another attempt to recover Yatsuyu, or a prelude to invasion. Either way, the craft reportedly advances at speed and appears bound from Castrum Fluminis. I mean to go there and ascertain their intent. If we ride out in force, it will only end one way, so we shall keep our numbers to a minimum. Yugiri, Sucro, can I count on you? Nod. Yes, my lord. Nod. Alize and I would fain play our part as well. We will not stand idly by while a common foe threatens the lands of our friends and allies. We would be glad of the help. You are acquainted with Hakuro, I believe, and I bid you seek him out and assist in maintaining order in the Enclave. When the people see an Imperial airship, they are liable to panic. I would have you reassure them and, should it come to it, aid in their evacuation. Very well, we shall depart at once. Do take care. Nods. What of me, my lord? The Empire may well be after Yatsuyu. You are to remain here and guard her until my return. As you wish. Pray stay close to Sucro and Yugiri. Well, well, guard duty and not a breath of protest. Now I've seen it all. To Castrum Fluminis, then. Let us find out what the Empire's game is. Nod. Remember when a quest ago we were saying that Heian should stay around just in case we need to demobilize forces and whatnot? And now that the Empire's around, we're just letting Heian, like, go check it out personally? With backup, granted. Seems a little bit silly, maybe. Ascending straight up on my motorcycle, like a normal person. Oh, I can't actually do that. I have to fly around. Or, you know, like, teleport slightly closer. The music in this area is pretty peaceful, by the way. I think this is known. But still, isn't there like a sightseeing log around here somewhere? I probably got it already. There's also fun places that you can walk around on, even though there's no reason to. Anyway, what's over here? Do I need to shoot people with darts again or whatever? Doma is ill-equipped to deal with an aerial offensive. Should the Empire be so minded, the Zayla's flying mounts would be our only hope. The area is secure. Whatever our visitors' purpose, they plainly believe they can achieve it alone. The craft should come into view at any moment. Let us await them inside the castrum. We're just gonna, like, stand around? Forgo all stealth? Oh, I think I know what's going to happen. I think I know who's going to appear. Probably. Who needs stealth?
A smoke signal? Thoughts, Yugiri?
In former times, such signals were used to announce the coming of an emissary of peace. In Doma, at least. But could that truly be their intent?
Who can say? Whatever they want, we cannot simply blast them out of the sky. Not when they were so gracious as to honor one of our cherished traditions. I would not have it said that we Domans want for propriety.
Then I shall go and reconnoiter.
Nay, that won't be necessary. We will meet them openly. I would welcome this student of Doman history in person, whomsoever he or she may be.
As you wish, my lord. I shall arrange for a signal of our own to be fired in answer.
Yeah, I know who this is. I remember this part now. It's this guy. And also these two. These two are also here.
Well, that we should be received by the Lord of Doma himself.
I think we've seen Asahi on camera already, but I don't know if we've heard him speak. Have we seen him? I mean, he's already named, so probably.
I but afford an emissary of peace the courtesy he is due.
As I say often, my memory is not too good.
Welcome to Doma, my lord.
Ah, where are my manners? I am Asahi Sas Brutus, Ambassador Plenipotentiary of Garlemald.
He is heir to the Naiuri clan, and Yotsu's stepbrother.
Gasp!
It seems I need not introduce myself. Not in the presence of the famed Yugiri Mistwalker. Your skills as a shinobi are known far and wide, my lady.
Need a screenshot for the thumbnail, and this guy's pretty important, so that's an option, I guess.
It is true. The former acting viceroy is my sister. Yet, bonds of kinship aside, we have precious little in common. As will soon become plain, I come not to sow strife, but to end it.
I kind of wish there was a way to turn off the screenshot, like, noise. So that it didn't, like, interrupt stuff suddenly when I was like, I need to take screenshots in case of a video thumbnail later. So that it wouldn't be so noticeable. But also it would have been noticeable if I disabled the UI for that anyways, so you know.
I am of the Populares, a collective which represents the interests of the common man. Long have we labored to bring about reform to the Empire's provincial policy. Happily for us, our master acknowledges the need for change. Indeed, His Radiance, Emperor Varys Zos Galvus, personally sanctioned this mission, granting me the authority to speak with his voice.
The specific way that Asahi speaks makes it seem very clear that, like, he's sort of reciting this, or like, I don't know exactly how to put it, but it's what's the phrase? Putting on airs? Is that a phrase that I'm looking for? I need to Google. I need to check to make sure I'm saying the right words. That's sort of correct. I don't know. It doesn't... There's just something about the way he speaks that conveys his true intentions are not what he says they are. I don't know. He's not very trustworthy.
To negotiate peace with Dorma.
I might be saying that slightly in a biased way because I know that he's not trustworthy from the future events. But also, like, nobody trusts him.
Well then, we have much to discuss. Will you accompany me to my hall?
Gladly, my lord.
He just seems very sus, as they say. I say, do I stand in the presence of the fabled Icon Slayer? What an honor. Lord Hien is magnanimous in victory. Given our nation's troubled history, we did not expect such hospitality. Peace, after all they've done, never has the word rung more hollow. We shall escort our guests across the river to the Enclave. Yugiri, pray go on ahead to the Yazuka Manor docks and see that the ferries are ready. Nod. Time to steal his little airship thing while he's not here. Because it sounds like he left it running. Well, it's like an airship from an airship. There might be a mount that looks like that thing. I honestly am not sure. Why am I... Oh wait, this is correct. Oh. My sightseeing log for me. Hooray! I looked at it. Sucro loves to see the sights. Such scenes of devastation greeted us on our journey here, the bitter wages of war. I've read much about the architecture and geology of Doma. Words do not do it justice. Upon disembarking, we will proceed directly to my hall, where we may enjoy some privacy. Lord Hien and I will accompany the Imperial delegation on the first ferry. When you are ready, speak with the boatman and join us on the other side. I don't think we've been to the Doman Enclave since that one, like, specific cutscene. By the way, science theme place here. But yeah, the Doman Enclave is like now an entire like area of interest. There's an entire side quest or like side activity based on repairing the Doman Enclave, which I may show like the process of unlocking that at some point. I don't think you can fly here, no, but you can drive around. There's like all these sorts of different areas that are under construction and whatnot. I don't recall if this is another location that is like constructed more and more, or was constructed more and more as the patches went by, or if how constructed this place is entirely based on your own contribution to it. Because you can see there's still like unfinished areas, but I wonder if it was more like broken down or unfinished prior to like certain patches and whatnot. I mean, they definitely added more to the Doman Enclave questline and whatnot over the course of patches, most likely. But I don't know if the appearance of the Doman Enclave changed over time as patches went on, like Mordona did, is what I'm saying. The residents took the news of the Imperial delegation well enough. It should be business as usual. So it's to be a peace negotiation. I'm curious to see what the ambassador brings to the discussion table. Thanks to Master Alphino and Mistress Alize's assurances, the people are reacting calmly to the Imperial presence. Oh, I can summon retainers here, that's right. What funny items do I have for the retainers right now? Crystarium Turban of Healing. My inventory is probably pretty full. A single wind crystal, classic of a retainer, to give you a single crystal. Camphorwood Necklace of Slaying, not useful. Well, useful to turn in for seals. And a single fire crystal. And also Ariadne sold something. Right, that was the floor of Alphino's house. That's a good question. A summoning bell with an E at the end would be a pretty good little joke. I'm assuming that this would be part of where we start unlocking the Doman Enclave questline proper. I will attune to the Aetheryte. I have attuned to the Aetheryte. Lord Hien has requested that Master Alphino and Mistress Alize also be present at the negotiation. There you are, Sucro. So first things first, what do you think of the Enclave? I must say, I'm quite proud of what my countrymen have accomplished in the time. We even have an Aetheryte now, courtesy of the Onishishu. Be sure and attune to it, would you? Once it has the Warrior of Light seal of approval, people might actually start using the thing. But on to the matter at hand. The ambassador and his retinue are at my hall, taking their ease ahead of the negotiations. I want you there when the talking starts. It will serve to send a message to the Empire that Eorzea and Doma stand united. I'm not normally one for hollow posturing, but in this game of nations, such gestures carry weight. Oh, and should you feel uneasy about speaking for the Scions, Alphino and Alize will also be there. You need only eat, drink, and look imposing. Say you'll come. I'll be there, or oh, very well. I'll be there. Leave it to me. I knew I could count on you. When you are ready, come and join me at my humble abode, the Kian Khan. The guardsmen will see you in. Somehow I doubt this abode is humble. It doesn't look particularly humble to me. Perhaps humble relative to a castle. Lord Hien is expecting you. May I show you in? Well then.
On behalf of my delegation, I offer you my humblest thanks. Never did I imagine that I would meet the gallant and noble Lord of Dorma himself, nor be welcomed into his magnificent hall.
I think another way to say what I was trying to say about Asahi is that you can tell from how he speaks that, and like how he words his sentences and whatnot, that he is not sincere with a lot, or he doesn't sound very sincere in a lot of what he says, at least.
You'll forgive me if we forgo the pleasantries. You say you are come to negotiate peace. Unless I am mistaken, such negotiations are typically conducted between sovereign nations. I was not aware that the Emperor had recognized Dorma's sovereignty.
Yeah, that's another way to put it. He's full of crap. Like, he just exudes an aura of being full of shit.
His radiance has yet to do so, that much is true. Know, however, that he has expressed willingness to cede Dorma to her ancestral masters and treat with her as a friend.
Various reactions.
Since the days of Emperor Solus, the Empire has aggressively expanded its territory. While you may not agree with our founding father's policy of expansion, I believe there is room for discussion on the matter of his lifelong goal, to rid the world of icons. Icons are a blight upon this star. They cannot be suffered to exist. This you know as well as we. In his wisdom, Emperor Varus wishes to explore the possibility of an alliance to combat this common threat. On the condition that Dorma renounces summoning and pledges to police the Korgin's practice of it, his radiance would extend the hand of friendship.
Dorma has never shown any appetite for summoning, and it should go without saying that we will address any threat to our people, icon or otherwise. With regard to the Korjin, I must stress that they only resorted to summoning under extreme provocation. When the Ruby Sea was at peace and their sacred relics safe, they looked not to their kami for protection.
Also, the Kojin didn't exactly summon Susano on purpose. It just sort of happened, for the most part, when we got there. So they didn't even really summon on purpose, I don't think. Maybe they invoked the kami a little bit when we got to the treasury, but I don't quite remember.
Yet even now, there are certain parties who would destabilize the region with ill-conceived military forays. Unless they alter their course, we cannot hope to be rid of icons.
Quite. I can but apologize. In seeking to eliminate icons, the Empire creates them. 'Tis an irony among ironies, one with which the people of Eorzea are well acquainted, I am told.
Alphino's thinking pose here. This would also probably be a pretty reasonable screenshot for the thumbnail.
Indeed. Many summonings are the result of persecution, the weak being driven to call upon the divine for deliverance from the strong. So it was in Alamigo, the bitter fruit of Garlean oppression.
A tragic state of affairs. If we are to put an end to summoning once and for all, it shall not be through might, but harmony. Yet we continue to repeat our mistakes, oblivious to the lessons of history. My comrades and I would change all that. We, Populares, have campaigned long and hard for a shift in imperial policy. And at last, the Emperor has seen fit to lend us an ear. Alas, there is a faction within Garlemald that would obstruct our every attempt at reform. A collection of pure-blooded Garleans who seek to consolidate their own supremacy. The Optimates. Lest you wonder, theirs was the hand that loosed our forces on the Confederacy. 'Twas a regrettable incident, one that flies in the face of everything we believe. And I swear to do all in my power to prevent a reoccurrence.
That would be most welcome. But if I may speak plain, if the Empire itself is not of one mind, how can we be certain that any peace we negotiate will be honored?
This is interesting because even if Asahi is full of shit, which he is, most likely, I say, again, I do know this part of the game a little bit, so he is kind of full of shit. But even so, I don't think we've been informed prior to this point that the Empire is like, well, as Hien puts it, not of one mind. Like, I don't think it is obvious before now that the Empire has many different factions with many different ideals and whatnot, and is somewhat fractured behind the illusion of power that they have. I mean, they do have power, but behind the illusion of unity that they have would be a good way of putting it. There are different groups within the Empire that want different things. And this has not really been clear before this point. So that's interesting knowledge to think about and have.
I cannot blame you for doubting us. Indeed, I should find it strange if you did not. And so, in the name of building trust, I would like to make a proposal. A prisoner exchange. Under Garlean rule, no few Dormans were conscripted into the Imperial Army. We would repatriate them in return for those of ours you captured in the recent conflict. Naturally, any exchange would include the acting Viceroy.
Yotsu? What makes you think we have her?
Oh yeah, we did see that in the intro where there was lightning and darkness and whatnot around the Empire. And I guess we did have a little bit of the idea that there was some fracturing happening because like Xenos was kind of doing his own thing a little bit against like the Emperor and whatnot. So, but yeah, this is like they're making it very plain that there are different factions within the Empire. I think that's probably going to escalate based on what little I know of some future events, but I won't say more than that. And also, like, based on how stories work, it wouldn't make sense if they just ignored it after this.
Forgive me, my lord. Was it not your wish to speak plain? Let us not play games. I desire only to work to our mutual benefit. The Optimates tried and failed to take my sister by force. I would succeed by peaceable means, thereby strengthening my party's hand. 'Twould be a lie to say I would not also be glad of my sister's safe return.
A fellow plain speaker. How refreshing. Very well. Your proposal has merit, but I will need time to consider it.
Of course, my lord. May we remain in Dorma until you have come to a decision?
You shall be our honored guests. Yugiri, I leave the ambassador and his retinue in your care. See that they are well looked after.
Nod.
You have our gratitude, Lord Hien. We shall look forward to your answer.
Bow. And now with them gone, we can discuss what to make of all that. The fact that there are two opposing factions at work in Garlemald complicates matters. Even assuming Asahi and his associates can be trusted, what of the others? That the Empire should send Yatsuyu's stepbrother of all people. I wonder how he feels, a son of Doma returning home to speak for the oppressors his countrymen drove out. Whatever Lord Hien's decision should be, I shall abide by it. Yet I would be glad to welcome my lost brothers back to Doma. Judging by the music, it sounds like we're a little bit suspicious of what's going on. Well, that was unexpected. You can say that again. I still don't quite know what to make of it all. But on the surface, a prisoner exchange does seem a good way to begin. The question is, can they be trusted? They had naught to gain by divulging the details of their internal divisions. As it stands, we have no reason to doubt them. But the ambassador's mention of Yatsuyu left me ill at ease. It made his grand talk of peace seem uncannily like a lengthy preamble. You think this all might be a ruse to facilitate her retrieval? Perhaps, though I cannot fathom why they would go to such lengths. Yatsuyu may have been the acting viceroy, but she is not Garlean nor even highborn. Her value must presumably lie in what she knows. Which brings us to the little matter of her memory loss. In her present condition, she would not yield any worthwhile intelligence, nor is she worth much as a bargaining piece. Alphino, you are well acquainted with the Empire's methods. I would have your thoughts on this matter. My knowledge is at your disposal, Lord Hien. While the Ambassador's proposal is appealing in principle, it would be remiss of us to not give it due scrutiny. Indeed, though it seems to me I have little choice but to accept regardless. With so many of our brothers and sisters languishing in Imperial camps, I cannot well turn my back on a chance to secure their repatriation. Only the Kami know when I will be afforded another. But ere we continue, shall we excuse these two? I fear what follows will bore them to tears. Nod. I was just about to show myself out as it happened. Come on, Sucro, let's leave Alphino to dispense his copious knowledge. Shake head. Someone is still sore from being made to watch at Sakazuki. Go on and keep Alize company. We're safe enough for now. Nod. No option to have your warrior of light be super interested in politics and plans. You've more than earned a rest, my friend. Leave the interminable bits to us. Worry not, Sucro. We shall take care of the rest. Go on and keep Alize company. A chance to relax at last. I know when I'm out of my depth, Sucro. Though no weapons are drawn, a negotiation is no less a battle, and the stakes can be every bit as high. One misplaced word and people could die. It takes someone with a cool head, and I'll be the first to admit that's not me. I don't know, Alize, you've done pretty well, often, so far. So we're left with the eternal question, what to do while they prattle on? Well, I guess I'll take 2 elegant silver pieces. And then realize that my shadow is way more high res than yours for some reason. Except for the weasel. Alize is pondering how best to make use of your reprieve from the tedium of negotiations. Oh, and we are getting experience points from these, I've noticed just now, which is interesting. All right, for want of a better suggestion, not many experience points. What say you to a brief tour of the newly liberated Doma? I'd be interested to hear how the people are faring in their own words, and it's not as if we'll be missed here, or will we? Sucro, a moment if you would. Ah, Yugiri, and Asahi, was it? You have some business with Sucro? Business? No, pleasure, my lady. I merely wish to exchange a few words with the famed slayer of gods and champion of Eorzea. It is truly an honor. Such heartfelt admiration, one could almost forget that you're an envoy of the Empire. Oh, is that so strange? We may have stood on opposing sides in the past, but I see no contradiction in lauding the woman who would do battle with our common enemy. Unless you forget this is my homeland. It would be remiss of me not to at least thank her for containing the threat posed by the Kojin's vile icon. Now, if I may continue, as we speak, Lord Hien deliberates over my proposal, and I would take this time to see the land I once called home. Though Lady Yugiri is certain to be a jovial escort, the excursion would be all the more enjoyable for your company, and safer besides. The ambassador has the right of it. He's not like to come to harm with you at his side. Will you join us? It would be my pleasure, or I'm quite sure he will be safe with you, Yugiri. Let's be polite, at least. In that case, I will join you as well. There's naught else to do until Lord Hien has reached his decision, and I can think of no finer way to learn more about the current state of Doma. It's settled then. The four of us shall make a brief excursion through Yangsha. Might we start at the town of Monzen? I would see what has become of Doma Castle. Very well, if you will follow me. He's also got a sword now. It seems he's likely to draw it at some point. Well, Asahi, what do you think of all these creatures in this area? I mean, I guess maybe you're used to them. I'll admit, I was hoping for a more leisurely trip around Yangsha, but if it's a choice between this or listening to my brother rambling on, well, here I am. Would that something could be done about these mechanical soldiers. Nay, can this truly be Monzen, home to the cream of Doma's samurai? I had heard that Yatsuyu intended to send some few of our automata here, but only by way of warning. It should not have come to this. Indeed, her savagery served only to incense the people and spur them to rise up in protest. It was folly to think that such methods of governance could ever prove effective. The sooner we can begin to make amends for this senseless destruction, the better. Securing supplies and support for the reconstruction effort should not prove difficult, once our nations are formally at peace, of course. Yes, of course. If you would have a better view of what remains of the castle, we must proceed through the ruins. Nod. I don't believe for one moment that he came to see the sights of Yangsha. The question, what did he come for? Lord Hien would often come here to gaze at the castle. He was but one of many to take inspiration from its majesty. It is a travesty, a travesty. I remember the keep being so beautiful. In the light of the setting sun, one would swear it was aflame. It is indeed a doleful spectacle. Mayhap we will rebuild it one day when we've finished helping our people to rebuild their lives. Spoken like a true popularis, the needs of the people must of course come first. Speaking of whom, would you be opposed to seeing how they my seeing how they lived firsthand? The village of Namai is but a short journey from here, if I'm not mistaken. By river, yes. If you will follow me, I will ready our boat. Back over this way. Wow, another duty. It has been some time since I last visited Namai, yet Issei often visits the Enclave with young Azami, so we do not want for news from the village. This excursion has proved to be more relaxing than I expected. Well, I have bad news about that, Alize. It seems we're about to engage in a combat. And on that note, it seems like a good time for a BRB. I have returned. One must needs simply take a break before combat when afforded the opportunity, yes? Or something of that nature. Ready to cast off? Indeed.
Get back! I'm warning you!
Someone's in trouble.
Oh dear. The Kojin of the Red are here and not happy about something.
Are you all right?
Hi.
What do they want with you?
Yuki, and you lot too. I don't know. We were returning from the Enclave when they came at us.
It seems they won't go quietly.
And neither will we.
Time for fighting. Don't remember this part. Kill them all! I will not let you harm these innocents.
It is nothing.
Hey, is my tank stance actually working in a single player duty this time? Because it does seem like I'm drawing aggro, which is often something that doesn't happen. I grow tired of these games. Where are our reinforcements? All this for 2 children? What do they even want with them?
No quarter!
They mean to overwhelm us. See to their reinforcements quickly. Now, aim for the younglings.
An opening.
Stand in front of them, we'll bear the brunt of it.
I have you!
Really wish I had Holy Circle, but again, I do not. I'm getting the impression that the reason that the aggro works in this duty is because I need to maintain...
The art of my forebears.
I need to not have... I need to pull aggro from an NPC who needs to not die, and that's the reason that it works. Don't know why I chose to use that particular... But it's fine. Quickly, protect the children. Don't have my gap closer, though. Hold your ground. I will try to draw away their reinforcements. But we defeated the captain. Were we not supposed to defeat the captain yet? Oh, Yugiri's clones are helping. Shadow clones, mist clones. And yeah, I guess they were trying to explain stack markers. Huh? What was that noise? I have the busy status.
That seems to be the last of them. You have nothing to fear, child. You are safe now.
What was that noise? I can't see what that noise was, I guess. Did I somehow get another company invite anyway?
Thank you, sir.
Yep, Asahi is here.
You saved us again. Thank you. If you're ever passing by our village, look us up. You'll always be welcome.
Thank goodness we arrived when we did.
Indeed. But what could have prompted the Red Kojin to stray so far from the Ruby Sea?
I presume these are the sellswords hired by Yotsu. If so, the answer is simple. Desperation. Bereft of Imperial employment, they seek other means to line their coin purses. Another sad legacy of the Empire's mismanagement.
The Empire to which you have sworn allegiance.
Must you always be so pointed? If we are to bring about lasting change, we must look beyond narrow allegiances. You have every right to doubt me, but in time, I hope you will come to see that we share a common goal. You and yours have fought fiercely to change the Empire from without, but if we are to end the cycle of conflict, the Empire must change from within. Am I wrong?
Historically speaking, trying to change things from the inside often doesn't really work too well. I don't know if historically speaking is the right phrase for that, but it often doesn't work too well, is all I'm saying. True reform can only come from within, or the Empire will never change. Well, I only have these two options, and they're not great. But true reform of an individual can only come from within. So maybe I'll say that. I don't know.
I knew you would understand. You have witnessed such change firsthand, after all, during your time in Ishgard.
Does that count as from within when it was kind of like people from outside of Ishgard that were the inciting incident that led to the change to some degree? I think there's more factors than just from within or from without at play, Asahi. Just in any of these situations. Yeah, and we did have to fight Thornton. I think you're trying to simplify it too much, Asahi Sauce Brutus. The Red Kojin's presence here does not bode well. We must inform Lord Heian. Quite the swordsman, isn't he? I wonder, did the Empire train him to kill before or after appointing him ambassador? I'm glad that nobody trusts Asahi. It's kind of funny. Dear me, I'd hoped to convey my views on our nation's shared hopes under more peaceable circumstances. Yet this regrettable little interlude did afford me a chance to see the famed hero of Eorzea in action, and few Imperial soldiers can say that. At least few who lived to tell the tale. Yeah, but okay, what about this? Oh wait, he's actually watching me right now, so that made him look up really quickly. That was actually kind of funny. Hold on, I want to see that again. What do you think of my cool sword, Asahi? What do you think of my funny weasel, Asahi? I don't think you can use Fell Cleave without a target, though. I like Circle of Scorn as a... Whoa! There we go. I like Circle of Scorn as a move to attack NPCs with. Oh yeah, Decimate would have worked. Asahi has had his fill of adventure for one day. Well, after that little ordeal, I believe it may be time for us to return to the Enclave. Return, my lord, but what of Namai? You seem so eager to observe the villagers going about their daily lives. To be frank, I still am, but I rather doubt the good people of Namai would take kindly to the sight of a man in Imperial uniform with blood still dripping from his blade. Even in your company, my presence would only prove a distraction. I'm conveniently only realizing this now instead of earlier. I wonder why that is. Fret not, however. Thanks to the three of you, I've seen a great deal more than I otherwise would. And with any luck, Lord Hien will have finished considering my proposal by the time we return. I feel like I have a vague memory of more details here. I suppose it doesn't hurt to speak of my vague memories of the story events, but I feel like the Red Kojian attack there was planned. Possibly by Asahi in an attempt to make it seem like he's on our side or willing to defend people or whatever. And the reason then that he wouldn't want to go back to the village would be, oh, I thought this was going to happen at the village, but actually it happened near the village, so I don't need to go there now. I don't remember if this is the case, but I feel like I have a vague memory that something of that nature could be. Hints of being staged is a way to put it that makes more sense than whatever I was saying. Well, I just said it was planned. Both of those are essentially the same. But that's like the word I was looking for, is what I mean. Also, he was so quick to suggest why the attack happened. That could have been something he rehearsed beforehand as well. When there was no, like, obvious reason why it happened otherwise. So, you know, suspicious. Asahi is generally a suspicious individual. I think before this patch we saw him briefly, and it became clear that we were supposed to be suspicious of him. But I don't entirely remember, as I said already. All of the Evil East raid information shuffled that out of my memory, I guess. Did you see the sincerity in his eyes when he spoke with Azami? I feel strange saying this, but what if he truly has come to sue for peace? I trust you will inform Lord Hien of our encounter with the Red Kojian. If we are to deter them from encroaching on Yangsha, our response must be swift and decisive. Even if he was not staging it for the specific purpose of making himself seem like an ally, it's entirely possible it was staged to make the Red Kojian look like an immediate threat that needed to be dealt with because he wants them to be dealt with. I understand you served as the ambassador's escort. My thanks. It's also possible that both of those things are his aim. Thank you again for agreeing to join me. If not for your aid, the Kojian may well have overwhelmed us. Pray go on ahead. Lord Hien is expecting you. I will remain without and keep watch over our guest. Well, we'd best not keep him waiting. Oh, I think the message was me getting mail. I just noticed I have one mail to check later. Or I think the noise was me getting mail. Judging by the sparkle in Alphino's eyes, their discussion was riveting. How sorry I am to have missed it. Master Alphino has shared with us his knowledge of the icons and reminded us of the threat they pose in so doing. It is strangely comforting to know the Empire shares our concern. Feeling refreshed, I trust? We have considered the ramifications of this proposal from every angle, and I believe Lord Hien has reached a decision. Welcome back, my friend. Yugiri tells me you accompanied her and Asahi on a tour of Yangsha. I had hoped you might take the opportunity to recover from your exertions at Sakazuki, but I gather your time was well spent. Until the ambassador affords you, Giri, a chance to make a full report, however, I must rely on you to supply the details. So please, tell us how it all unfolded. Explaining. The Red Kojin here? Have there been any other such incidents since the liberation? Not that I'm aware of. If they were planning some new venture here in Yangsha, we will need to increase patrols. In any event, I'm truly indebted to you for fighting them off, but tell me, and don't be modest, was Asahi truly the first to leap to the youngster's aid? He was. I was quick to doubt him when we first met, but his desire to save them seemed quite genuine. It's possible he truly believes what he's saying. In the time I've known you, you've always been an excellent judge of character. What do you make of the ambassador? He may very well be an honorable man. I still don't think he can be trusted, or ... I'm biased because of my belief in, or not my belief, but my knowledge of the future. But is Sucro trusting? What does ... do here? Sucro's unsure, I guess. He confounds you too, I see, and for that reason alone, we would be fools to underestimate him. Yeah, that seems appropriate to Sucro's character. Regardless of his aim, I'm resigned to playing his game, for now at least. Well, forswearing summoning should be simple enough, considering you've never dabbled in it in the first place, which just leaves the somewhat thornier question of how to police the Red Kojin. It was with that very question in mind that I sought Alphino's counsel. Thanks to his knowledge of the icons and the rituals used to invoke them, I believe we've identified a workable solution. As you will recall, Susano was summoned forth using the power of relics locked away in the Kojin's treasure vault on the Isle of Zeki. Though said relics remain there to this day, it is all but certain the act of summoning exhausted their stores of ether, making subsequent summonings impossible. Assuming that's the case, preventing the Primal's return rests on denying the Red Kojin the means to amass new stores of ether, either via the acquisition of crystals or the relics they are wont to collect. For this, I plan to enlist the aid of our friends of the Blue Kojin. Since Doma's liberation, we have forged closer bonds with Bunshin and his people, and with their support, I'm quite confident we can keep the Red from obtaining what they require to call upon this Susano. And what of the prisoners? They will be exchanged as agreed, and I will give full credit to Asahi for the success of the transaction. If there's aught we can do to help the Populares garner favor, I mean to see it done. But first, I have some unfinished business to attend to. Would you all come with me? Yes, of course, but what manner of business? A past mistake which I would see put right. One which has weighed heavy on my mind. There she is with Dango.
I had her brought here in secret while the three of you kept our guest company. The world has not been kind to you, it is true. But that does not excuse your sins. You should be at the bottom of the river.
I agreed when this was Yatsuyu and not Tsuyu. But again, is she the same person?
Yet here you are, the living, breathing proof of my failure. A failure for which I would now make amends.
Between the sword being put to her neck, or between the sword being drawn and the sword being put to her neck, she has eaten 2 of the 3 dango. Like, sections? You can't see that because it's behind the chat cover. Hold on. believe I made that in a, yeah. I put that in a place where it was easier for me to... You can see that there's only one section of the dongo remaining. Where did the other two go? It is a mystery. I mean, she probably ate them. And that's the implication anyway. But they didn't animate that, them disappearing in real time, because that would be silly. That would be a Final Fantasy XIV 1.0 action to do. Anyways.
What did I do? I don't remember. Was it really so terrible? Tell me, please. What did I do?
You speak of sins, my lord. But at whose feet do those sins lie?
Hers?
With the soldiers who committed the crimes, or those who commanded them to do so?
Both?
With both, I would
Okay,
say.
thank you.
For all have a conscience, and all must choose. But with no memory of who she is, or what she has done, what sin remains to be cleansed?
I think I'm with Gosetsu on this one.
You ask that I show mercy.
I ask why the heavens saw fit to deny me my rest. Why Yotsuyu was spared not only death, but the bitter memories of her life.
You truly think it the will of the Kami?
I would also say that the prisoner exchange would not likely go as expected if Yotsuyu were dead, which is probably important to consider in this moment.
If so, her life is not mine to take. It is yours to safeguard.
Because they are expecting the acting viceroy, former acting viceroy, as part of the prisoner exchange. And we do want to save all the people of Doma that are prisoners.
Come the hour of the exchange. If her memories have not returned, she may remain here in Doma to live out her days as Tsuyu. But if they do, the Guardians shall have their viceroy. Though the people will protest, they will come to accept my decision when they have been reunited with their loved ones.
Okay, fair enough. But how are
Thank you, my lord.
How are we to know that the Empire will believe that her memory is gone?
Now then, I believe we have kept our guest waiting long enough.
I suppose we'll just have to let them know and hope they trust us. Because we are trusting them to some degree.
Did Gosetsu not seem strange to you?
Possibly?
His sympathy for Yotsuyu apart, I mean. I know his powers of endurance only too well, but after all he has suffered, even he should not be on his feet. He puts on a brave face for our sakes, but it would not surprise me if he lacked the strength to raise his blade.
He did stumble when he tried to earlier. Nod.
Though I suppose if he and Yotsuyu are to enjoy a life of peace and quiet, he will have little use for it. It falls to us to shape that future, one in which he need never again set foot on the battlefield.
Where did Alphino and Alize go? Okay, I did put the chat cover back up. Okay, that's where they are. I had no idea Yatsuyu's return weighed so heavily on Lord Hien's mind. So I am getting experience for these, as I mentioned earlier, but it's like 10,800 and I need, like 1.1 something million to get to level 6 or 76. So I guess the experience in the .x patches exists, but is not super meaningful. So I wonder why it's there. Because I don't think it was for the Heavensward Point X. And yeah, there is good character development for sure. I couldn't say if Tsuyu's predicament is the will of the kami, but Gosetsu certainly seems convinced. Hey look, it's the name of the patch. With Yatsuyu safely in Gosetsu's care, all that remains is to answer Asahi's proposal. I realize other matters demand your attention, but I would ask that you stay a while longer to see this business through.
My apologies. Our deliberations took longer than expected.
Think nothing of it. The time afforded me the opportunity to go on a rather rousing excursion through Yansha. You have reached a decision then?
We are willing to cooperate with you in combating the Icon threat, and also in the exchange of prisoners. Assuming you accept our conditions, of course. As you know, your sister is in our care. Due to certain complications, however, we are hesitant to release her into your custody.
Complications?
She was inside Doma Castle when it collapsed. Though she survived, she remembers nothing of her past life, not even her name.
Alright, we are actually just telling them.
To clarify, she is in our care not as a prisoner, but as a vulnerable citizen of Doma.
Are you saying you refuse to release her?
Not at all. If her memory returns before the appointed hour.
And if not, what exactly? You will accommodate her here in Doma?
Well, I sincerely doubt she will be of any great strategic value to the Empire. She spends her days daydreaming of Dango.
Dango.
Dango. Also, honestly, kind of a good screenshot. Not for thumbnail purposes, but just because Asahi going, Dango, is kind of funny. Interesting also that, like, between his expression and the way his speaking has changed slightly, you can see a hint of more venom in his voice, or a different sort of venom, perhaps. As soon as things start getting complicated and not going exactly as he planned them. As soon as we mentioned having conditions, he started sounding more, I don't know, venomous is the only word I can think of. But I wouldn't say his voice lacked venom before. It was of a different sort.
How dreadful.
Tango. 5-minute pause. How dreadful.
Very well. In light of our recent misstep in Sakazuki, it seems only fair that I show you the same understanding you have shown us. Though I do have one small request. Regardless of Yotsuyu's value to the Empire, she is yet my sister. Before I leave, might you permit me to speak with her in private?
Of course. Perhaps you could even bring her a plate of dango. She would be most pleased. Yugiri will see you to her chambers.
I'm sure this will go well. Forgive me, my lord, but has he not been gone over long? Perhaps I should... Calm yourself, Gosetsu. I understand your concern, but we have to wait. He deserves that much. Nod. I'm sorry to have kept you all waiting. Thank you for your understanding. Long did I dream of this reunion, but never did I imagine it would be so joyless. A part of me hoped your stories of her condition were just that, but alas, it is as you say. Suyu, do you remember anything of this man? Anything at all? No. I am a stranger to her. That much was clear to me from a single look. I leave her in your care. As you wish. Now, if you'll excuse me, my superiors are long overdue a report. They will be elated to hear of our agreement, of that I have no doubt. As for the exchange itself, once I've obtained the relevant permissions, I will arrange for your people to be relieved of their various duties and sent here to Yangsha. This will take time, of course. Of course, you may rest assured your soldiers will be well cared for until your return. We will also begin taking steps to better counter the threat of the Kojin and their icon. Before you take your leave, there is one other matter. I am informed it was you who took the lead in rescuing 2 young domans from a band of Kojin sellswords. I have not yet had the time to thank you properly. Please, there's no need to thank me. I only did what anyone would do under the circumstances. Fortunately, I was in good company at the time. The blight of the Red Kojin is of the Empire's making. Were it not for our transgressions, those children would not have needed saving. The people of Doma have suffered enough, my lord, and I promise to do all in my power to spare them further pain, be it at the hands of the Kojin or indeed the Empire. I pray the Emperor will see things as you do. There may yet be hope for us all. Bow. Until we meet again. Nods. Gosetsu. As before, I leave Yatsuyu to you. Nod. I invite the rest of you to join me outside. Let's treat Asahi to a proper farewell. Nod. I'm trying to remember if I trusted Asahi at all when I originally played this part of the game. And I think I chose the option that he might be an honorable man after all. So I think I was giving him the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But also I was mostly uncertain, I think, maybe. If my dear sister's memory does not return, I pray you will take good care of her. Lord Heian has made a wise decision. Our superiors will be pleased. Also, do remember, we have seen some of Yatsuyu's past, and it was pretty clear that she did not have a good, relationship with her family. I think Asahi was included in that vision, and if not, we can infer that he probably did not have a great relationship with his sister from how everything else went with her. So I think we have enough knowledge to know that he's at least not telling the truth about everything at this point. I wondered if the sight of her stepbrother might bring Yatsuyu back to her senses, but mayhap nothing will. Nevertheless, we must continue to watch her until we can be certain that her condition is permanent. If only our previous encounters with the Empire had been this cordial. Here's to the future, I suppose. Without the threat of Imperial attack hanging over our heads, we may devote our energies to dealing with the Red Kojin, and then there will be nothing left to impede Doma's restoration. The Ambassador's airship awaits at Castrum Fluminis. Let us be off. I think that would be Fluminis, would be how you would emphasize those syllables, actually. I did take Latin in school once, so I do know a little bit about Empire words, since there are a lot of Latin. But I don't remember what that, I don't know what that means still.
This has been a most enjoyable visit. I look forward to our next meeting. Maxima, would you take the others and see that all is ready for our departure?
I think it's probably also worth noting
I
that...
simply cannot leave without first giving thanks to the Warrior of Light for accompanying me through Yansha.
I think it might be also worth noting that Maxima is very clearly named, and the other soldier with Asahi is not named or brought up, and they never speak, so that's something. Implying that Maxima is important. And if I remember correctly, he kind of is. Anyway, what do you want, Asahi? Music fades out. Because actually, he's evil.
Mark me, savior of the savages. There will be a reckoning.
Did you think he was trustworthy? No. Surprise. Oh, time to remember exactly why he thinks there will be a reckoning. In case you thought the Asahi Sus Brutus believed anything that he said, let's learn that he doesn't. Not really.
You've nowhere left to run, traitor!
Ignorant savages! Killing us will avail you naught. For every Imperial you cut down, 1,000 more will come. Abandon this foolish endeavor and surrender. You may yet serve our righteous cause.
Yeah, now that I'm seeing this scene again, and now that you both mention it, I think that was probably exactly my attitude when I first played this. I probably thought, maybe there is something good about this guy. Maybe he does believe some of this. And then the second this happened, I was like, oh, never mind.
How dare you speak of righteousness? You who forsook kith and kin to serve conquerors! Be glad I grant you this mercy. What in the...
Oh.
Reinforcements? No, just one! Cut him down!
Xenos is here too. Or was here in the past. Surprise. Need to get me a new sword. This one seems pretty cool, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a tangent, but I've just remembered the video game Secrets of Grindea, because spoilers for Secrets of Grindea, which still does not have a version 1.0 release, but I did play enough of it to get to a part in the story where I learned that the villain of the story like the main villain, is someone who got so obsessed with collecting all of the monster cards that have a rare chance of dropping from monsters, but he could not find the last one or something like that. Or like he refused to believe, I think he got 100% completion of the monster cards, but refused to believe that was all there is. And then he was like, hey, if monsters drop rare items in this world, do humans also drop rare items if I kill them all? And for some reason, Xenos just caring so much about getting this cool new sword loot drop made me remember that. Because I imagine Xenos as just killing people to look for the rare loot of cool sword. Because, like, he just ditched his old sword because he saw a new sword that was cooler. Legends of Grindea is an interesting game. I didn't complete what story existed yet, but that sure is an interesting twist to the plot that happened. And it is kind of like Xenos. But anyway.
This one is promising. Who remains to offer us resistance?
A host of rebels led by Lord Cayenne hold the Enclave across the river.
Lord Cayenne?
The king of the former king of Dorma, sir. They say he is one of the greatest swordsmen alive.
Is that what they say?
Well, time for me to go kill him, I guess.
Who was that?
Surely you jest. That was Xenos Galvus, Legatus of the 12th, the Crown Bloody Prince. I heard he was strong, but that was frightening.
That was Lord Xenos.
Xenos fanboy detected. The last part of trust is gone.
Everything you are, your power, even your face, it vexes me.
Never trust a Xenos fanboy. How could you be vexed by Sucro's face, though? Come on, man. You can't do that. Glare.
Go on. Lash out like the beast you are at an emissary and jeopardize the newfound peace between Dorma and the Empire.
I won't, but I'll tell everyone what you said, and they'll trust me because they have no reason not to, and then we'll be like, seems a bit concerning. But yeah, Asahi... This is
My lord was destined to lead us unto a glorious new age. Your light is nothing to his radiance.
Asahi is another good example of how they start to be really effective with face, like NPCs making different faces and stuff, facial expression technology in cutscenes. Asahi's very expressive. I think everyone else, okay, they're not looking at us directly, but they'll probably get the impression that something was up.
I will cherish this moment, lock it away within my heart, until the day we meet again.
And yeah, like, to be fair, some of the stuff that shows Xenos is interesting, like this stuff we just saw, and me saying never trust a Xenos fanboy is mostly a jest. But also, like, I don't particularly like Xenos as a villain in Stormblood. I think I mentioned Asahi, I think I mentioned before that the best villain in Stormblood, in my opinion, is only in the Point X patches for it. I think Asahi is the best written villain in the Stormblood section of the game. I think he's like the most interesting and the most like... the most hateable in like a positive, it's good when villains are hateable in certain ways kind of way, if that makes sense. Like, I really dislike Yatsuyu. I don't particularly care for Xenos as he's presented in Stormblood. But I think Asahi is probably the most interesting and like well-written villain of this section of the game. And he's very hateable. Like, in the ways that you want a villain to be hateable. That's a way to put it. Like, the reasons that I hate... the things that I hate about Yatsuyu and the things that I hate about Stormblood Xenos are not the reasons you want your villain to be hateable. But the reasons Asahi is hateable are the reasons intended. Which is why I think he's a well-written villain compared to them. Did that all make sense? I think it did, probably. Yeah, like, Yatsuyu, I have a lot of personal distaste for. But also, I just don't find her, like, super interesting, even if I try to look past all that. And Xenos, just, I hope Xenos is better in Endwalker Don't Tell Me Anything, because I know nothing about what he does in Endwalker except have a scythe. But anyway. And I think Asahi's expressiveness that I was talking about is a big point in his favor as well. It really makes like it really makes him stand out a little bit. Like, both Xenos and Yatsuyu barely emote even, I would say. Why the frown? Did he say something to upset you? You could say that. Are you quite well? You looked as if you were about to faint in the ambassador's arms for a moment there. I thought perhaps we could now be at ease, but your expression suggests otherwise. What troubles you, Sucro? Multiple other people are here viewing this part of the game. Sucro's just like,
You look troubled, my friend. Was it something he said?
It was everything he said, actually. I don't know. Yatsuyu's personally not redeemed for me because
all the memories to witness.
Basically, Yatsuyu is triggering for me, so I cannot forgive her. So yeah.
I had my doubts about him, but I would never have guessed he was a disciple of Xenos. My lord.
Calm yourself, Yugiri. I set no store by him or his enlightened brethren. But if by treating with them there is even the faintest hope, we might secure the return of our conscripted brothers and sisters, I must play this game. After the way I risked their lives in the rebellion, I owe them that much.
I guess that's fair. I guess saying... it's more like I can't forgive the writers, honestly. But whatever. I'm going to try and move past that, at least in terms of this discussion.
My
I
lord,
think.
you bear no blame for their fate.
My point about
If not
Asahi...
blame, then responsibility. They were prisoners, and still I chose to fight, knowing they could be executed in retaliation.
The main point I wanted to make is just that Asahi is interesting and well written, I think, compared to the main villains of the main part of Stormblood, and that's about it. I'm not sure who's writing the game at this point. Maybe this is the part where the Shadowbringers writer starts being involved in the main story. I'm not sure.
But now we have a chance to bring them home. If it means bargaining with the monster, so be it.
Shadowbringers and Endwalker writer, I think. And also like the Rogue quests and Dark Knight quests and Alchemist quests. I need to like know what her name is instead of just referring to her as the Shadowbringers writer all the time.
My lord.
Besides, I think he likes me, which is more than some can say.
Ian, is this the time for jokes? It doesn't seem like it's the time for jokes. That is quite a Sucro face there. That's the Sucro face of it's not time for jokes, actually. It makes no sense. Why would he bother keeping up the pretense for so long only to drop it right before the very end? Perhaps he no longer thought it necessary, having secured Doma's cooperation in the prisoner exchange. If he truly is a disciple of Xenos, his possible emotions simply got the better of him. Remaining calm around the woman who slew his lord will have taken its toll. Whatever the explanation, now is not the time for hasty reprisals. We shall proceed as planned. The Red Kojin must be placed under surveillance and the Garlean prisoners made ready for the exchange. But you need not concern yourself with the details. Hey, speaking of the details, was the sword that Xenos picked up in that cutscene, was that Asahi's sword that he has now, or were they just vaguely similar? Because I didn't think about that until just this moment. Because if they were the same sword, that would be a nice little detail, actually. Leave the affairs of Doma to us. When the hour of the exchange draws near, we will call for you. Nod. I should certainly hope so. Whatever the Empire's true intent, we would be on hand to play our part, either to defend Doma or to help usher in a lasting peace. I had thought we might use this time to return to Eorzea, but given the volatility of the situation, mayhap it would be best if we remained in Kugane. Agreed. Between Yatsuyu's amnesia and Asahi's dubious agenda, I'd say we have ample reason to remain in the neighborhood. If anything should happen, anything at all, you must send for us at once. Oh, I will. On that you have my word. Charting a path through this sea of troubles promises to be difficult enough. I am not so proud as to attempt the feat alone. Nod. To Kugane, then. Tataru and the others must know of what transpired here. I'm mostly thinking about that because they did put a lot of focus on that sword in those cutscenes. So, soon we shall see if Asahi is true to his word. If not, I will be glad to cut out that silver tongue of his. If what you saw of the ambassador is an indication of his true nature, this prisoner exchange may not be what it seems. In fact, I'm beginning to wonder if your encounter with the Red Kojin was more than mere happenstance. Okay, so the game itself brings up the idea, like, directly, if you talk to Heian there, that attack may have been staged. Like, I think it probably was trying to hint at it, like someone said. But Heian himself also suspects that possibility, which is interesting. Apparently, I'm going to walk to my destination instead of using an aetherite. I think there might be a slight oddity with my controllers upright. You can see Sucro's like vibrating a little bit more than usual when walking in that direction. I've noticed that when playing Octopath Traveler 2 as well. But anyways. So for that, it's more like every direction and not just the upright. It hasn't caused any problems yet. Since we have naught else to attend to for the moment, perhaps this might be a good opportunity to look into the present state of Garlemald. I should probably speak with Tataru first. Welcome back, Sucro. We heard the good news about Gosetsu. I knew you'd find him. I don't envy Lord Hien. So much rests on his decision. Hi, it seems you're all in quite the predicament. Well, should we receive any urgent missives from Doma, rest assured you will be the first to know of it. Yes, of course, we're discussing ideas to replenish our coffers, but I suppose that can all wait if any urgent news should come through the office. About that, I wish to apologize, Tataru. It was reckless of me to make such a purchase without first consulting you. You may be certain, however, that I mean to reimburse the Scions, even if it means drawing upon my personal funds. That's very thoughtful of you, but I'm sure it won't come to that. If Soroban's business proposition is as promising as it sounds, Sucro should have no difficulty wiping the red from our ledger. Tataru evil laugh, Sucro surprised. Forgive me, Sucro, it would seem I've unwittingly heaped my financial troubles upon you. I swear I will pay you back. Though I fear I will struggle to cobble together anything of monetary value, knowledge I can gather in abundance. To start, I plan to investigate the divisions forming within the Empire. Mayhap Riol and his associates have heard something on the subject. Regardless, the more we know about the politics of Garlemald, the better our chances of predicting the Imperial's next move, which might yield you an advantage on the day of the prisoner exchange. Knowing what we do of Asahi's apparent resentment towards you, I cannot say what he hopes to gain from it. But if there's even the faintest chance that a lasting peace could be forged between Doma and the Empire, what choice have we but to try? Lord Hien had the right of it. Asahi may very well be a monster, but we must play his game for now. Nod. Enthusiastic thumbs up from Hancock for some reason. I guess I'll take this armor of fending that I don't need. Because it's at least on brand. I can't believe I'd become a tank main. Meanwhile, in the Empire somewhere. Hey look, it's that Maxima fellow. Hey look, it's that Asahi? No. Asahi fellow. Arranging the prisoner exchange proved easier than I thought. Yes, my lord will be most pleased. Everything is going according to plan. Evil plan. Ho ha 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 he 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 he. Ho ho ho. I need to depress that button again. Ah. He gave her something. That's so much dango.
Can you truly remember nothing? Nothing at all?
Were we friends?
Yes. We were good friends, you and I. In fact, I've brought you a gift.
That's a lie. Like much of what Asahi says.
I pray that one day soon, as you gaze into that mirror, you will remember the woman staring back at you.
It's a cool looking mirror.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Also, it's got the moon on it. Or like a crescent at least.
Who are you? Who are you?
Pretty distressing to be given a mirror and told to remember yourself, though. Meanwhile, in the Imperial capital, I guess we were at the Imperial ship a second ago, not in the Empire. But meanwhile, in the Imperial capital, a style of architecture we've not seen before from the Imperial capital, actually. I think.
How are you feeling, my lord?
Fine, now leave me.
Question marks, who could this be? Why bother with question marks, honestly? I guess because we're about to do the dramatic reveal that... Hey, look, it's Xenos. It's definitely Xenos. That's him. Oh, that's it? Okay, sure. But anyways, that was 4.2. Anyone else have anything to say? I will replenish our coffers, you wait and see. If all goes as planned, we will recoup the cost of Gosetsu's blade 10 times over. More often than not, it seems an opportunity is one to come knocking when the Scions are about. So long as you and yours remain here in Kugane, I'm certain a profitable venture will present itself. Whatever Asahi is planning, we cannot let him have his way. After all Lord Hien is done, the Empire cannot be suffered to hinder Doma's restoration. Well, okay, bye. So that was 4.2. Rise of a New Sun. It's only been 3.5 hours. I mean, only. Oh, I can't open that. I suppose the implication is that the artificial echo has allowed Xenos to return to life, because that's one of the features of the echo sometimes. Perhaps. So what now? Oh yeah, that's right, the Sahagin did that once. Radiance Earrings of Healing. Gotta check their retainers. I'm kind of excited to get to the next parts of the main story, because if I remember right, there's a lot of neat stuff that happens in the rest of the lead up to Shadowbringers. But also, of course, I'm excited to get to Shadowbringers, so. But all that having been said, I think rather than attempting to fit anything else into the stream, it might be a good time to stop. This might be, I guess this is a bit of a shorter one. Minions that sit on your shoulder are not designed for dozing poses. But this does seem like at least accurate cat behavior. Like, to just sit on the side of your face while you're trying to sleep. And I've heard a weasel called a cat snake, at least within this stream, so hey, you know, maybe. And all that said, I think that's all for today. So thank you all for watching. This has been Final Fantasy XIV 4.2 Rise of the New Sun. Next in Final Fantasy XIV is the Four Lords questline, starting with the quest that we have up in the corner over here, meaning the Hell's Lid dungeon and a series of trials and stories. That might take 1 or 2 streams. Probably not more than 2, if I had to guess. But next stream immediately, next stream being the one on Monday, presumably, will be Pokemon Green Bootleg Randomized Part 2. Many people were like glad to see me play that again, or like commented that my playthrough of that 10 years ago was something they still remembered and thought about. So that was nice to see. Shoutouts to all of them. And all of you, actually. Shoutouts to everyone. Everyone gets a shoutout. But, so Hell's Lid and the Four Lords will probably be on Wednesday, though I do have some other stuff happening on Wednesday, so there might not be a stream then. So it's possible that that might not be until Friday, or maybe I'll do like a stream on Thursday if I don't get one on Wednesday. We'll see. There's just a few other things happening next week. But yeah. If you would like to see links where you can support me, there is this link that I've just posted into the chat, which has all of the social media and places you can donate and whatnot. The donate page works again. I forced it to work somehow. And other ways you can help, if you're not already following would be very helpful, and recommending the stream to other people would be very helpful. If I get more followers, I can make more goofy emotes and stuff like that. So that would be fun. And, I think that's about it. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you have a good rest of your day. That's Sucro. Farewell.